Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome on stage our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Union Minister of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India. A very, very warm welcome to you, sir. May I request you, sir, to kindly grace the stage with your honorable presence. We also welcome our distinguished guest of honor, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India. We extend a warm welcome to Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST and Chairperson T.D.B., Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak, Secretary T.D.B., and Dr. Rajkumar Upadhyay, CEO C. Along with the senior officials from the Science and Technology Ministries and departments, distinguished representatives from the industry, startups, academia, research institutions, financial partners, innovators, members of the scientific community, respected members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar and good evening. A very warm welcome to this landmark occasion, celebrating the innovation, enterprise, and India's growing leadership in research and technology-driven development. Today marks a significant milestone in the Technology Development Board under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, which commemorates the first agreement signing with emerging technology enterprises, ETEs, under the Visionary Research Development and Innovation RDI scheme. This initiative reflects the Government of India's steadfast commitment to transforming research excellence into scalable innovation, strengthening the innovation ecosystem, and accelerating the journey towards an Atmanirbhar and technologically empowered India. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored to have with us the august presence of Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Union Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Honorable Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, Honorable Minister of State for Personal Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space, Government of India. Honorable Minister, sir, has been instrumental in driving transformative reforms across India's science, technology, biotechnology space, and innovation sectors. Sir's vision continues to inspire the nation's scientific community and young innovators towards building an Atmanirbhar, future-ready and innovation-led India. I would now request Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST and Chairperson T.D.B., to kindly do the honors of welcoming and felicitating Honorable Minister Sir with a green plant. A very, very warm welcome to you, sir. We are honored by your gracious presence today. I would request Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak, Secretary T.D.B., to kindly do the honors of welcoming our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. May I request Pathak sir to also welcome Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST and Chairperson T.D.B. May I now invite on stage Shri Kapil Kumar Tripathi, Senior Scientist T.D.B., to kindly welcome Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak, Secretary T.D.B. We are honored to welcome you, sir. Requesting Shri Kapil Kumar Tripathi ji to also welcome Dr. Rajkumar Upadhyay, CEO C. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tripathi, for doing the honors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to begin the official proceedings with the welcome address, it is my proud privilege to invite Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak ji, Secretary Technology Development Board, for the welcome address. May I request you, sir, to kindly address the August House.
गुड इवनिंग, सुसंध्या। आज के इस गरिमामय कार्यक्रम के मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, भारत सरकार के मंत्री, और विशिष्ट अतिथि प्रोफेसर अजय कुमार सूद जी, प्रधान वैज्ञानिक सलाहकार भारत सरकार, एंड अभय क्रांतिकर जी सर, DST सेक्रेटरी और चेयरपर्सन T.D.B, R.K. उपाध्याय जी, T.D.B बोर्ड के अन्य माननीय सदस्यगण, हमारे IC कमेटी के सम्मानित सदस्य, आज हमारे साथ आप लोग उपस्थित हैं, ये हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है। अन्य गणमान्य व्यक्तिगण, RDI योजना के तहत जो हम आज 5 एग्रीमेंट साइन कर रहे हैं, उन आप सभी लाभार्थियों को, मीडिया जगत से जुड़े अपने सारे साथियों को, DST एंड T.D.B के हमारे ऑल साथीगण, देवियों एंड सज्जनों, आज ये मेरा सौभाग्य है एज ए सेक्रेटरी T.D.B ये कहते हुए कि वो एक 3 इडियट में एक डायलॉग था कि नोबडी रिमेंबर द सेकेंड, सो T.D.B हैज़ बिकम द फर्स्ट सेकेंड लेवल फंड मैनेजर who not only launched its call of proposal, we are going to sign the first agreement and we are going to release the first fund from RDI today. माननीय मंत्री जी के कर कमलों से वो संभव है। पहली बात तो मैं माननीय मंत्री जी का सादर अभिनंदन। सर, आप RDIF के जर्नी में जो हमारे साथ कदम से कदम मिला करके, इनफैक्ट हर एक हमारी जो विशिष्ट इवेंट रही उस पर आप हमारे साथ थे। जब हम बॉम्बे में पहला अपना आउटरीच इवेंट कर रहे तो सर आप हमारे साथ थे, और मुझे उस समय बड़ी सुखद आश्चर्य थी कि मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चन का आपने डायरेक्ट आंसर किया। तो मुझे लग रहा था सर मिनिस्टर लेवल पे इतना डीप कौन जाता है, बट आपने उसको पूरा आंसर किया था। फिर जब हमने अपनी दिल्ली में की तब भी आप हमारे साथ थे, जब हमने अपनी पहली कॉल लॉन्च की सर तब भी आप हमारे साथ थे, और आज जब हम लोग पहला ये इवेंट कर रहे हैं आज हमारे साथ है सर। आपका बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन एंड सुस्वागत। हमारे साथ सर प्रिंसिपल साइंटिफिक एडवाइज़र सर, आप इसी के चेयरपर्सन भी हैं। हमने आपसे गुजारिश की थी कि हमें 5,000 करोड़ दिया जाए, हम इसे 3 साल में ख़त्म करेंगे, मतलब कमिट करेंगे। तो जैसे हर एक जगह एक मोहल्ले में कुछ बैड बॉय का इमेज होता है, तो समहाउ T.D.B का वही इमेज बना हुआ था और अभी भी है। मैं नहीं कहूँगा इमेज ख़त्म हो गया। सबको ये लगता था अरे T.D.B कैसे 2,000 करोड़ खर्च कर लेगा। हमें याद है सर, जब हमने कॉल लॉन्च की थी तो अपने दिल की बात कही थी कि ये 2,000 करोड़ मेरी आशा है कि हम 1 सितंबर जब हम अपनी 3री वर्षगांठ मना रहे हों तब हम खर्च करें। तो माननीय मंत्री जी ने कहा था एक बात कि भाई ये देख लो कि क्वालिटी ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट होनी चाहिए, केवल ऐसा नहीं कि आपको पैसे मिल गए आप मैं ये ज़रूर कहना चाहूँगा, आज हम करीब 22 प्रोजेक्ट, एक हम बुकलेट भी रिलीज कर रहे हैं, उसमें 22 प्रोजेक्ट का डिटेल है सर। एक से बढ़कर एक प्रोजेक्ट हम लोगों ने इसमें सेलेक्ट किया है, और ये पूरी की पूरी इसकी क्रेडिट हमारे IC जो हमारे टीम है इन्वेस्टमेंट कमेटी, और जो DST और T.D.B के जो हमारे सब लोग इसमें इन्वॉल्व है। सर आपने बहुत मेहनत की। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी को अवगत कराना चाहूँगा कि सर हमने पिछले 1-2 महीने में कोई संडे ऐसा नहीं था कि हमने 8 घंटे मीटिंग न की हो IC की। ऑलमोस्ट ऑल संडे हमने, और इसके लिए मैं आप सभी IC मेम्बरान का बहुत बहुत तहे दिल से धन्यवाद। आपने इतनी अच्छी एक कंपनियों में फंड लेके आए, और हम 2,000 करोड़ देखते हैं एक 1.5 महीने के अंदर में हमारी 2,000 करोड़ ख़त्म हो गई। सर क्वालिटी तो ऐसा है कि अब जो IIT बॉम्बे में मैं गया था अभी जो भारत इनोवेट के उस देखने के लिए, तो मुझे ये लगा कि जो हमें 22 प्रोजेक्ट सेलेक्ट करे, करीब 15, 16, 17 के करीब हमारे स्टार्टअप वो भारत इनोवेट में जा रहे हैं, जो अभी हम 22 को बुक इनलोड करेंगे। तो आप देखें कि उस क्वालिटी के स्टार्टअप हमने किए हैं सेलेक्ट। सर उसमें भी आप देखा जाए तो लिस्टेड कंपनी भी हैं, एमएसएमई भी हैं और स्टार्टअप भी हैं। फंडिंग का रेंज 3 करोड़ से लेकर के 285 करोड़ तक की फंडिंग की रेंज है, तो काफ़ी वाइड रेंज की फंडिंग है। और सर अभी आपसे हम फिर 3,000 करोड़ की गुजारिश लेके आपके समक्ष आए हैं। उम्मीद है कि वो 3,000 करोड़ भी हमें मिले, क्योंकि हमें बहुत ओवरवेलमिंग रिस्पांस मिली है इस पूरे RDI स्कीम के तहत। Within 3 months, we got 124 project proposals, sir, more than 25,000 crore project worth, and more than 10,000 crore asked from RDI fund. मेरा ये सौभाग्य कि आज मैं अब जो उस शख्स की बात करूँगा, तो मैं ये चाहूँगा कि जो हमारे DST और T.D.B के कलीग है वो ये ना समझे कि मैं APR में 10 में 10 पॉइंट के लिए बात कर रहा हूँ। वो तो सर ने गारंटी की है, तो ऐसे ही दे देंगे। सर इस पूरे जर्नी में मैं 2 मिनट लूँगा इसको कहने के। RDIF फंड आज की तारीख में यदि हम 9-10 महीने के अंदर 1 जुलाई में ये पूरा कैबिनेट अप्रूवल के बाद आज यदि हम फंड डिसबर्स कर रहे हैं, तो सर ये केवल आपके कारण, आपने हम सभी को इसके साथ जुड़ने का मौका दिया। मैं तो उसके लिए मतलब खुशकिस्मत हूँ कि इस पूरे जर्नी के दौरान मैं आपके साथ जुड़ा रहा। इनफैक्ट सर की जो काम कराने की एक बहुत अच्छी तरकीब इन्होंने निकाली थी। हमारे पुराने ज़माने में, मतलब हम लोग पुराने ही लोग हैं सर, गांव में वैद हुआ करते थे। तो हम लोग बच्चे थे, तो जब उन्हें कड़वी गोली खिलानी होती थी तो उसके पहले ही वो 2 मीठी गोली खिलाते थे और बाद में एक कड़वी गोली देते थे। तो सर ने भी एक मीठी गोली रखी हुई थी, जब उनको काम निकलवाना था वो धीरे से वो मीठी गोली पकड़ा देते थे। और हम लोग वो वही समझ सकता है जो इस पूरे प्रोसेस में उस हम लोगों के साथ था। राहुल हंस रहा है। हम लोग डिस्कस किया करते थे कि सर, और बाहर निकल के हंसते थे उस मीठी गोली पे। लेकिन ऐसे हम लोगों ने अपनी जर्नी शुरू की। इनफैक्ट इसमें पहले से ही मैं सर के साथ जुड़ा था। जब ये पहली बार 2024 में ये अनाउंस हुआ था, तो हम लोगों की ये थी कि इसको T.D.B एज ए फंड मैनेजर लेके आएँ। लेकिन चलिए NRF में आए, हम सेकेंड लेवल फंड मैनेजर उसके साथ हुए, जुड़े। लेकिन जो जर्नी हमने 1 जुलाई से शुरू की, मुझे अभी भी वो सारी डेट्स कंठस्थ याद हैं। 7 जुलाई को जब हमने पहली स्टेक होल्डर मीटिंग की थी, सर ने की थी। उसके बाद हमें ये टारगेट दिया गया था कि 10 दिन के अंदर में हमें पूरी स्कीम की गाइडलाइंस बनानी है। और राहुल आते थे और हम लोग डिस्कस करते थे, चले जाते थे। भी हुआ यार इनको बैठने की जगह दी जाए, तो 1-4 दिन तो लग गए हमारी जगह ढूंढने में। तो मैंने कहा ऐसे नहीं होगा, तुम आ जाओ। सो T.D.B का जो सर मेरा एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल था, मैंने उनको दिया। मैंने कहा मेरे साथ बैठो, हम साथ बैठेंगे तभी ये डॉक्यूमेंट बनेगा। हम लोगों ने फिर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन गाइडलाइंस करके बनाई। और सर का मैं ये मतलब इनकी जो लीडरशिप क्वालिटी, जब ये बन के तैयार हुई, जहाँ जाना था स्टेक होल्डर पहले हम लोगों को भेज दिए कि तुम जूनियर लेवल पर सबको सेट करके आओ। फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ। 13 अगस्त को सर फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री में इसको प्रेजेंट भी गए। इसके पहले के डॉक्यूमेंट जाए फाइनेंस सेक्रेटरी को, सर जाके प्रेजेंटेशन दे के उनकी जो कंसर्न है वो ले ली। ठीक है, अब हमें इसी से अप्रूव करानी है। इसी की मुझे याद है कि 19 अगस्त को सर ने इसी पे जाके पहले ब्रीफ कर दिया कि ये सब हम करके आ रहे हैं, इसके आएंगे पहले हम आपको बता रहे हैं। तो सर ये सीक्रेट नहीं है इनकी, मतलब ये जो किस ठीक है सर। तो इस तरीके से डॉक्यूमेंट मेरी जब इम्प्लीमेंटेशन गाइडलाइन बन गई, सब कुछ हो गया, कहते हैं कि भाई आप स्पेशल फाइनेंशियल रूल बनाओ। मैंने कहा सर स्पेशल फाइनेंशियल इतनी जल्दी कैसे बन जाएगी? मुझे 3 या 4 दिन का ही टाइम था स्पेशल फाइनेंशियल रूल बनाने के लिए। राहुल इस जर्नी के गवाह हैं। हमने कुछ बैकग्राउंड वर्क किया हुआ था। 3-4 दिन के अंदर में हम लोगों ने SFR भी बना ली। और जब हम फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री में भेजे तो वहाँ से करीब 75 क्वेरी हमको पहली बार आई थी, जिसमें SFR पे 3-4 क्वेरी ही थी। बाकी सारी क्वेरी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन गाइडलाइंस और जो हमारा SGMT डॉक्यूमेंट था उस पर थी। IG बनाने में हमारे मुकुंदन जी का भी बहुत सहयोग रहा है। कृष सर हैं, अभी आज हमारे बीच वो कतिपय कारणों से नहीं आ पाए, जो हमारे चेयर IC के हैं। सौरभ श्रीवास्तव सर, उनका स्वास्थ्य के कारण लोगों ने हमें काफ़ी हेल्प किया था। खैर जब ये बन गया तो सर के चाहिए तो लॉन्च होगा, 3 नवंबर को लॉन्च होना। अब NIA डॉक्यूमेंट पे काम करो। तो पहली बात तो किसी को पता ही नहीं था ये नई चीज़ है, इसमें कौन सी डॉक्यूमेंट गवर्नमेंट के लगेगी। नॉर्मली हम लोग NIT निकालते हैं टेंडर इसमें टेंडर है नहीं, आरएफपी निकालते, आरएफपी इसमें है नहीं, क्योंकि आरएफपी का वो हमें पता है कि क्या आउटकम है। देन वी जीरो डाउन कि एनआईए डॉक्यूमेंट बनाएंगे। तो राहुल एंड कंपनी से कि सर मुझे तो एनआईए का कोई हवा ही नहीं, एनआईए डॉक्यूमेंट बनती क्या है, कैसे बनेगी, और था कि 3 नवंबर तक इसको प्रधानमंत्री जी से वहाँ पे लॉन्च कराना है। दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ टाइमलाइन वी वर्क। खैर एनआईए डॉक्यूमेंट भी हम लोगों, चूँकि हम टेलीकॉम में काम किए थे तो उसकी एनआईए डॉक्यूमेंट का मेरे पास थोड़ा आइडिया था, हमने उससे स्टार्ट किया। बाद में वो स्पेस फंड के भी एनआईए डॉक्यूमेंटली बन गया, सब हो गया, लॉन्च हो गई। अब इसके बाद सर की फिर वो मीठी गोली आई कि अब जो है SLFM को कॉल फॉर करना है, तो आप SLFM पोर्टल पे लग जाओ। पोर्टल पे लग जाओ तो उसके लिए ना तो वेंडर रेडी है, ना हमारे पास कोई टर्म वगैरह रेडी है, बट हम लोगों ने फिर वो भी किया, SLFM पोर्टल भी बनी, और हम सारे करीब 200 प्लस हमारे SLFM ने अप्लाई भी किया, अभी उनकी एवेल्यूएशन चल रही है। ये इनक्रेडिबल, अविश्वसनीय, अकल्पनीय यात्रा हम लोगों ने पिछले 8-9 महीने में तय की है, चाहे वो दिन हो या रात। मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि सर जैसे मकान बनता है तो एक कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है, आया अपना पैसा दिया, लोग काम करे चला जाता है, लेकिन एक जो हेड मिस्त्री होता है जिसको हम लोग, वो साथ लगा रहता है, काम करता है, उसके साथ सारे मजदूर काम करते हैं। सर आप हेड मिस्त्री के जैसा हम लोगों के साथ लगे रहे, हमसे ज़्यादा आपने ये काम किया इस पूरे जर्नी में और गाइड किया, इसके बगैर ये संभव नहीं था। और जब हमने अपनी फर्स्ट कॉल लॉन्च की, उसके बाद हमें एक्सपेक्टेशन ही नहीं था कि इतनी ज़्यादा हमारे पास ओवरवेलमिंग एप्लीकेशन आएंगे। सर आगे की और सब मतलब कहने का तात्पर्य ये है कि इस पूरे RDIF जर्नी में हम लोगों ने बहुत ही एक उसको कह सकते हैं कि जो एक्सपीरियंस है, कैसे एक प्रोजेक्ट को, एक पूरे स्कीम को इस लेवल पे लेके आना। और आज जब आप देखेंगे 22 कंपनी, 5 हमारे बीच है जिनके साथ हम एग्रीमेंट साइन कर रहे हैं, उन कंपनियों को तो आपको लगेगा कि हमने क्या अचीव किया है। नॉर्मली जो मैं इस एनोलॉजी के साथ ख़त्म करना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे पहले अश्वमेध जग होती थी, चक्रवर्ती सम्राट हम तभी बनते थे कि जब उसका घोड़ा दौड़ता था, उसको कोई पकड़ा नहीं, आ गया। 2027 में जो हम लोग भारत, विकसित भारत की बात कर रहे हैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, वो एक यज्ञ है। उसको यदि अश्वमेध जग से हम तुलना करें तो सर आपने वो जो दौड़ने वाला घोड़ा है उसको RDI ही है ये। यदि ये संग से चल गया, ये घोड़ा आपने खड़ा कर दिया, अब इससे आगे दौड़ना है, बहुत सारी बाधाएं आएगी। देयर इज़ इंटरनल बाधाएं भी होंगी, एक्सटर्नल भी होंगी। जिस कंपनी को हमने फंड किया, पता चला उसको एक्वायर करने की एक वो एक्सटर्नल बाधाएं होंगी। यदि ये RDI रूपी घोड़ा दौड़ गया तो मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि भारत को विकसित भारत 2047 तक बनने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता। और चूँकि आप जा रहे हैं, नीति आयोग में सर ने कहा आप हमारे बीच डायरेक्ट नहीं रहेंगे, बट इनडायरेक्ट आप हमें आपसे साथ तो एक्सेस रहेगी ही। आपकी मार्गदर्शन की T.D.B को भी ज़रूरत है, क्योंकि अभी हमें बहुत काम T.D.B में करना है। इसी के साथ मैं यहाँ पे समस्त उपस्थित गणमान्य व्यक्ति का बहुत बहुत आभार, बहुत बहुत आप लोग हमारे पास आए। सुसंध्या, गुड इवनिंग एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच। जय हिंद, जय विज्ञान, जय अनुसंधान।
हार्दिक धन्यवाद सर, आज के इस महत्वपूर्ण अवसर की भावपूर्ण शुरुआत करने के लिए, एंड फॉर ब्यूटिफुली सेटिंग द टोन फॉर दिस इम्पॉर्टेंट इवनिंग. And ladies and gentlemen, we now present before you a small video highlighting the essence of today's evening.
The Government of India is driving a new era of innovation through the Research, Development and Innovation Fund, RDI, launched by the Honorable Prime Minister on 3rd November 2025, with a visionary outlay of 1 lakh crore rupees to power India's strategic and sunrise technologies.
रिसर्च और इनोवेशन को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए की फंड की घोषणा की है.
Under this landmark initiative, the Technology Development Board has been entrusted as a second-level fund manager with an initial allocation of 2,000 crore rupees to support breakthrough innovations in sunrise sectors.
One important feature to note is that this is one of the first of its kind of initiative by any government. This is the kind of easiest possible funding or loaning happening.
On 4th February 2026, T.D.B launched its first call for proposals under the RDI scheme, receiving an overwhelming response from across the nation. Till 30th April 2026, 124 proposals have been received and 22 projects approved across strategic sectors shaping India's technological future.
We have received an overwhelming response. This also shows that with this funding, there is sufficient interest for crowding in the private capital as well.
Today's signing of contracts with 5 pioneering companies reflects T.D.B's commitment towards fast-tracking innovation and turning ideas into national capability. iSTEM Researchers' Breakthrough Therapy Project is pioneering treatment for incurable diseases. Dhruva Space's Project Garud is building India's next-generation satellite platforms. NOCARC's IMLSS project is transforming emergency healthcare through AI-enabled life support systems. ETRNL Energy's lithium-ion battery project is powering India's clean energy future. NGO Air's project Subal 200 is advancing indigenous heavy-lift UAV systems. With the vision of DST and the leadership of T.D.B, India is accelerating towards a future driven by indigenous technology, strategic self-reliance, and the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the most significant segment of today's program, the agreement signing of the 5 projects under the RDI scheme. The agreements being exchanged today are for 5 high-impact indigenous technology projects for investments in India's scientific future, technological sovereignty, and innovation-led economic growth. On behalf of T.D.B, I would request Secretary T.D.B, Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak ji, and I would request the representatives of the selected projects to kindly come forward for the exchange ceremony in the gracious presence of Honorable Minister, sir. We will begin. First, would like to invite Messrs. Endure Air Systems Private Limited, Noida, Uttar Pradesh, for their project Subal 200, an indigenous unmanned helicopter platform capable of carrying payloads exceeding 200 kilograms, which is being designed for high altitude and rugged operational environments. The platform will support logistics, disaster response, surveillance, and strategic operations. For the next agreement, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite Messrs. Dhruva Space Private Limited, Hyderabad, Telangana, for project Garud, the indigenous modular communication payload diagnostics 500 kg class satellite platform designed for mass production and constellation scale deployment. And next, we would like to invite Messrs. ETRNL Energy Private Limited, Maharashtra, for the development and manufacturing of advanced lithium-ion battery cells based on its patented 3-dimensional electrode architecture technology. The pioneering initiative aims to transform lithium oil cell design and manufacturing. And next, for the next agreement, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome Messrs. NOCARC Robotics Private Limited from Uttar Pradesh for the development of the Intelligent Mobile Life Support System, IMLSS, a portable ICU-grade emergency and critical care platform designed specifically for Indian conditions. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Messrs. iSTEM Research Private Limited, Bangalore, Karnataka, for the signing of the agreement focused on the development of first-in-class cell therapies targeting 2 globally incurable diseases, geographic atrophy associated with age-related macular degeneration and idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for these historic milestones under the RDI scheme in the gracious and august presence of Honorable Minister, sir, and all our distinguished dignitaries. And we now proceed to another landmark moment, the electronic fund disbursement under the RDI scheme. As part of the initial tranche release, an amount of rupees 50 crore will be electronically transferred to Messrs. iSTEM Research Private Limited to support the advancement and commercializations of its indigenous cell therapy platform. And before the transfer, I would also request all the T.D.B officials to kindly join the dignitaries on the stage. And we would request Honorable Minister Sir, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, to kindly initiate the electronic disbursement by clicking on the remote. And let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Messrs. iSTEM Research Private Limited. Thank you very much indeed, Honorable Minister Sir, for doing the honors. And we now move to the release of the compendium on the status report of the RDI scheme under T.D.B as SLFM till April 2026. The compendium highlights the progress made by the Technology Development Board in operationalizing the RDI fund framework, including approved projects, funding trends, and commercialization efforts. I would request Honorable Minister Sir for the formal release of the compendium. And let's put our hands together as the compendium has been officially released by Honorable Minister Sir. And we now move to the release of the report titled Quantum Safe Ecosystem in India, Strategic Summary under the National Quantum Mission, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. I would also like to invite on stage Dr. Ajay Chaudhary, Chairman, MGB, National Quantum Mission, Sri Narendra Nathji, NSCS, Dr. Vinod Kumar, Department of Telecommunications, Dr. Vinay Godse, DSCI, and Dr. J.B.V. Reddy, Head Quantum Technology Cell, and all the team members to kindly join the dignitaries. I would now request Honorable Minister Sir for the formal release of the report. The report outlines India's roadmap for building a quantum-resilient digital infrastructure through the adoption of post-quantum cryptography, quantum-safe communication frameworks, and indigenous technologies to address emerging cybersecurity challenges in the quantum era. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as the report has been officially released by Honorable Minister Sir. Thank you very much indeed, sir. May I once invite all the IC members on the stage for a group photograph with the Honorable Minister Sir and the dignitaries. You may kindly stand behind the dignitaries. All the board members, respected board members, to kindly join us. Ma'am, I think you should be in the center. A round of applause for all the dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. We thank all their efforts and pains taken by them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my proud privilege to invite Professor Abhay Korandikar, Secretary DST and Chairperson T.D.B, to kindly address the August House. Let's put our hands together to welcome sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Union Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, respected Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, T.D.B Secretary, Mr. Rajesh Pathak, CEO of CDOT, Dr. Rajkumar Upadhyay, a very distinguished audience here in this hall, which includes very esteemed members of the T.D.B board members, investment committee. Also, we have chairperson of SLFM evaluation committee of RDI, my colleagues from the DST, ANRF, T.D.B. First of all, let me begin by congratulating the Technology Development Board for achieving this historic milestone, which is an extremely important milestone in the journey of the entire Research, Development and Innovation Fund. So Rajesh Pathak has articulated, the journey from which began from the approval of the Union Cabinet last July to this stage where we were actually able to not only select some startups but transfer, the actual funding. We are in the process of now selecting the second level fund manager. Yesterday and today we had presentations from almost 20 plus fund managers, AIFs. I must take this opportunity. Of course, Rajesh Pathak mentioned about all the hard work that he had put in, and Rahul Nair had put in, and Mukundan had put in, and I had put in. But I have to take this opportunity to point out the lot of hard works put in by a large number of people totally voluntarily. Because I was working as the Secretary DST, Rajesh Pathak was working as the Secretary TDB, and Rahul Nair, Mukundan, everyone was actually paid for this job. But a real hard work was put in by the voluntary work of very distinguished people. So first, in the journey of preparing the implementation guidelines, apart from Mukundan, who I would say that only partially worked voluntarily because he was asked by the Department of Economic Affairs to help us. But we had a lot of support from Dr. Saurabh Srivastava and Chris Gopalakrishnan in the initial stages of preparing the implementation guidelines. Later on, when T.D.B was nominated as the second level fund manager, the investment committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Saurabh Srivastava, and which has very, I should say, very eminent, very busy people, like we have Mr. Jamwal, who is sitting there from Tata Industries, then Lalitesh Katragadda, Sanjay Nayak, and Gopal Srinivasan, who was here, then Mr. Sethi also, and Jaswinder, ex-cadence. So these are all very, very busy people, and who were available on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, and they gave it to almost 10 hours each on weekends to the evaluations of such large number of proposals and a very critical evaluations. In fact, I should say that I got this feedback from the startups and all these eligible technology entities that they were actually blown off, that their presentation is scheduled on Sunday afternoon or something. And so I have to take this opportunity to really express my gratitude to all these individuals, which actually shows the commitment from the stakeholder community towards one of these most transformative and bold initiatives of the Government of India for supporting the R&D in the private sectors. And this would not have been possible, today's function would not have been possible, we would not have pulled it off if the investment committee members have not spent so much their energy and time in making the right selections of the startups. Apart from, I think now, Chris, we also now, we have expanded our second level fund manager evaluation committee also, and there also yesterday and today and before that also we had held several other meetings. And these meetings have been, remember, that have been very intense. For example, yesterday the meeting started at 9:30 and went up to till 8:30 p.m. in the night. And also today it started at 9:30 and till almost 5:30 or so. So these have been very, very intense meetings, and I really salute the dedication and commitment of all the individuals who have come purely voluntary, to the extent that for some of these people we are not even paying the travel and the hotel accommodation. So I should say that to that extent, their dedication and commitment. So I'm pretty therefore confident that with the support of all of you, we will be able to select the right fund managers, the right set of companies, crowd in the private capital investments, and really be the game changer in the coming years. And in that context, I must say that I have been privileged to be associated for the last 1 year in terms of operationalizing this fund. And therefore, as I demit my office this week, I demit this with a great sense of satisfaction that we could actually operationalize these game-changing initiatives of the Government of India. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to all the stakeholders, the entire team of Department of Science and Technology, T.D.B, ANRF, who really worked tirelessly with me, giving all their weekends. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Honorable Minister for reposing his trust and confidence in me, almost as I mentioned earlier also, that I was having a free hand in operationalizing all these very, very important initiatives, starting from when I joined as a DST secretary, ANRF, National Quantum Mission, and finally, the RDI. Let me also take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Professor Sood, the Principal Scientific Advisor, who has been a pillar of strength and a forefather, kind of a guiding figure in navigating this. It was really indeed a very learning and a satisfying experience to work with him closely in steering some of these initiatives, particularly the Quantum Mission and the ANRF and the RDI. The three most important initiatives which DST seeded, he was directly involved. There were other, of course, several other programs and initiatives of the Department of Science and Technology where he was not so much involved. But in these three, definitely he was directly involved as the chairperson of the Executive Council of ANRF or as the chair of the MTRC of National Quantum Mission. Once again, I would like to congratulate the Technology Development Board, all the 22 startups who have been selected. Today, of course, we have signed the MOU with the first cohort of the 5 startups which were approved by the T.D.B board. The remaining ones, the MOUs and agreements will be signed soon. And I would like to take this opportunity to the entire innovation community, the innovators, that they should use this enabling framework set up by the government now to develop the cutting edge and deep tech technologies and making our country globally competitive and making all of us, therefore, in this entire journey proud of this experiment. So thank you once again, and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that insightful address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to invite our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Sir, we are privileged to have you with us today, and may I request you to kindly address the August House. Let's put our hands together to welcome, sir.
Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji and Professor Abhay Karandikar, Mr. R.K. Upadhyay on the dais, and Mr. Rajesh Pathak. All the members of the investment committee, all the T.D.B board members, also from the quantum mission, the entire fraternity. We have Dr. Ajay Chaudhary with us, chair of the MGB, entire DST fraternity. It is indeed a great evening with 2 big announcements or 2 big events which are happening, and also the third one which I'll say in the end. And both these events are very important. So let me first say about RDI. A lot has been said in the last 45 minutes, and I couldn't have said anything more to that after the interesting journey which Mr. Pathak narrated and which Abhay also added. So I don't have anything to add, but to express my deep sense of satisfaction that from the time it was announced in the budget, this 1 lakh crore corpus, from that time to now, actually it is a record time which I have seen where the implementation has happened. Formally, it was launched on 3rd November last year by Honorable Prime Minister, as we just saw in the video. And from there, it's just less than 6 months. We are here when 50 crores was transferred few minutes back. So that, I think, is a remarkable journey, looking at the processes we have in place and all this flexibility within the processes we had to make it go through. And that because ANRF was entrusted with this responsibility, which has a very nimble organization, and it could be done. So that, I think, tells us that when things have to be done in government, it can be done at scale and with speed. So that's a very, very clear message which has come out, and that could not have happened but for the 100% faith of the leadership in us. Honorable Prime Minister gave us a completely free hand with the full support at all levels of his office, PMO, and our Honorable Minister, as Abhay said, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, who gave complete support from the back to push it in time. So I think this is a very, very opportune moment to reflect how the whole of government approach can be taken to initiate and push a process when all of us are together in full sense of the word. This RDI fund, as was mentioned, can be a game changer. We have to see that the private sector now comes forward. Government has done its best. This is a unique thing in the world, what has happened. Public money has been put, 1 lakh crore. our hope is that with 1 lakh crore, can at least 5 lakh crore or 10 lakh crore can come from the private sector to really spur deep tech R&D, which will result into wealth creation in the country. That is the hope, and I hope some of us will see sooner than later this happening. And the first test will be with RDI, which has been given to T.D.B, 2000 crore. We have to see how it shapes up. Actually, the actual work starts now, because we have to see within our mechanism of T.D.B, nothing wrong with T.D.B, it's very, very good, it's happening well. But do we have enough mechanism to even monitor it? What is happening? Do we have mid-term course correction, which we need to do? Because this is the first time at such a scale we are doing. So I will request all the worthy members who are here, from investment committee, from the T.D.B governing board, and all that, to make sure that we really take it to the next step. So I would say well beginning, but we have to keep on pushing for the success. So that's something very, very important. So I think the other, so before I go to the second big event of the evening, so before that I say again my very, very high thanks, full sense of gratitude to all the people who have been involved in this, from Professor Abhay Karandikar, who is leading from the front, the T.D.B board, the entire investment committee, every one of you who have been dedicating your time for this. So thank you once again from my side and the entire ANRF team, which has been supporting this from the backside. The second event which happened again on this stage is the release of the quantum safe ecosystem in India. This actually people don't realize right now how important it is. The panic will come on a Q day. Panic is not very far off, because if you look, ChatGPT became a household name in 2022 because people realize the power of AI. That same thing will happen with quantum technologies, quantum computing, when your encryption, public key cryptography will be vulnerable. It is not very far. All your RSA encryption will be vulnerable. That people are not realizing on the street. But once your all these accounts are hacked, when you transfer money, I think that will be the panic. So we have to be ready for the Q day. So it's not that people, our adversaries, are keeping silent. As they say, you can do now and encrypt later, harvest now, encrypt later. All that is happening now. Question is, are we ready? And that is why this National Quantum Mission made it a high priority to address this. So a committee was formed under this, and I thank Dr. Upadhyay and the entire team and our office, the sets I must put on record, how the initial document was made from the sets, which is an organization under our office in Chennai, and our team in the PSA office. We worked, and the team of Dr. Upadhyay, ably supported by the quantum mission, Dr. Reddy and his entire team, they really made sure that this framework is prepared. Sir, this is a time when our finance sector, health sector, all the grid people have to be sensitized on this. The sensitivity is still not as much as it should be. People think, oh, it will happen. But actually, it is not very far off. So now as a country, we have to make sure that we remove this vulnerability sooner than later. We need to develop technologies for this. Things are happening in various sectors. Because when you say PQC, post-quantum cryptography, it is not just three letters. There is a lot of technology behind it. When you say QKD, there is a lot of technology behind it. Good news is that this mission has empowered all this. And that is again because this government has put the entire resources and confidence in the scientific community. So once again, really accolades to them for really having trust in us. And we have done it in a good amount of time. I wish it could have been faster, but we have been moving anyway fast. So this is going to be a game changer. How do we make quantum safe transactions? How do we make quantum safe data for health data, which is all vulnerable with our adversaries? So this second event which has happened this evening is very, very important. And I am sure RDI fund and quantum mission also go hand in hand. They are not isolated. So actually, RDI fund can enable the investment in quantum sector much, much more in the startups and industries which can happen. So the only regret I have is that our big industries are not on the scene when it comes to quantum, when it comes to other things. This I hope the word will go around that they are equally vulnerable. Please see how it has to be implemented. So this is something I hope evening like this will sensitize them and they will move. So that is my only hope that we will do sooner than later. And the third important thing which I said is happening is Professor Abhay Karandikar's move to the next level, higher vertical. And this going to Niti Aayog is something which the entire scientific community, technology community looks forward to his guidance. He has been a pillar of strength for launching all these missions, and I had a privilege along with my office to work very closely with him and his entire team. And we could move at speed and scale because of his energy, because of his commitment to perfection, and because of his commitment to stick to the timelines. So the timelines have no weekends. This, I guess people have realized it, and we have talked on all weekends, everything, and all odd times because we need to move it fast. And the EC in its role has enabled whatever was possible so that we could move in time. So my very, very high sense of gratitude to Abhay for really steering this and bringing us to this stage. I'm sure you are not going anywhere. You will have still a lot of responsibilities and you cannot escape our torture. So that will continue to happen. But I thought this is an opportunity to take a viram and say thank you before you go to the next step of the ladder. So thank you so much, all of you, for this evening. And thank you once again, each and every one of you, to make this today's evening so very special on all the three fronts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that very inspiring address. Your vision for strengthening India's scientific ecosystem and innovation capabilities continue to innovate researchers, motivate researchers, startups, and institutions across the nation. And ladies and gentlemen, we now arrive at the most awaited moment of the evening. It is my proud privilege now to invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. May I request you, sir, to kindly address the August House. Let's put our hands together to welcome, sir.
No, I can't be as tall as Professor Sood, however much I pretend. But thanks for this. So amongst us, Professor Ajay Sood, whose scholarly discourse you just now heard, are very energetic Dr. Abhay, Rajesh Pathak, Dr. Upadhyay, members of the T.D.B. board, members of the investment board. Incidentally, this function this evening has simultaneously turned into Rajesh's reception and Abhay's farewell. So when you go back from this room, I don't know how you would be taking it, but it's a good assortment of things happening over here, and we are the lucky witnesses. So taking off from the long story that Rajesh narrated, he virtually tagged down the entire journey, which is in English sometimes referred to as travelogue, and in Urdu as Safarnama, though the safar is not yet complete. He said, from Three Idiots, people don't remember the second. So while I compliment you for being the first, I am also satisfied that all the apprehensions that we had at the time of launching this initiative, which is of course the first of its kind, also seem to have weaned away. And the best expression for that is again from Three Idiots, all is well. Rajesh also mentioned how they had worked hard. And he said he was working 8 hours a day, not 8 hours on every Sunday. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go home thinking that he was not working on other days. But I think the real compliment should go to those whom Dr. Abhay was referring, who were actually working 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday after having put in full week to their respective professions and their respective pursuits. Chris is there, other friends are there. And that vindicates what I said right in the beginning when this was launched and when we had, I think, one of the first meetings. I said we will have to involve industry from day one. Also because this was, I think, for the first time, any government anywhere was coming out with an initiative to accelerate the private sector. Usually the private sector is expected to contribute. It's the other way around. So that they can come up, and as Professor Sood said, tomorrow they become the major partners, and government in turn becomes a facilitator, as has been witnessed also in several developed countries. Also, I think because this government under Prime Minister Modi has come out with many of the out-of-box decisions. It has broken many taboos of the past, which were not expected. And I think, again, the next milestone is going to be a few weeks or a few months later when the Shanti Act rules are rolled out. And again, we would need a similar kind of enthusiasm in the industry, which I've already seen happening now. In fact, I went to the extent of saying that you allow the industry the liberty, the freedom to map out for us what do they expect from us. We have to come out from that mindset of the yore when we would carry on with the project, and when it was nearing completion, then we started looking for the industry partners. And no wise businessman will come forward for something which is not profitable. The research, development, seva, service, all these things sound good, sitting in this room. But at the end of the day, if he is a wise businessman, he will always, if not very explicitly, calculate what is the economic outcome of this. And unless you assure that, you cannot have a sustained relationship with the industry. So let them come in, let them also tell us. The other satisfaction, the reason for the satisfaction is that, just as I said, we were breaking many taboos of the past. Thanks, Prime Minister Modi, for allowing us to do that. We did that in case of space about 5 years back, and today we have one of these space transfers happening over here, which was possible only because of the space reforms. That too also was not expected by anyone, that one day we would unlock the space. We remember the days when the gates of Sriharikota were not even allowed for the media persons. Today, for each launching, you have 10, 15,000 spectators. So the apprehension was that just as the industry was not prepared that we would suddenly open up, even the common citizen was not. And given to kind of the feudal patronage happening from the successive governments over the last more than half a century, they thought we had come out with another citizen cooperative bank. And I told Abhay, I came back and told, I said, since I have to travel being a public person all across the country, deep into the rural areas, remote areas. And when I was traveling in one of the remotest rural areas, a worker came to me, an elderly lady, and she said that ये लड़का कोई कागज़ देना चाहता है आपको, मुझे समझ नहीं क्या है, तो आप इसको देखिए. So I asked him, what is it for? He said it is RDI and ANRF. So I felt both happy and unhappy. Happy that this had reached every nook and corner, thanks to the social media. But not very much happy indeed at the same time, because I could see on the face of the boy that possibly he had realized, like many others of his peers, that look here, government had opened another window of lending you funds, loans, freebies, etc. So I said, we have to make them realize what it means to be TL4, which Professor Sood had so painstakingly worked out. You rise to a certain level, and then we would reach out to you. And this is not an unfair deal at all, not at all. Because I am dabbling with all kinds of fields. In the field of literature and music, I remember very well Amjad Ali Khan once said, please don't get me the audience who do not understand what I play. I want audience who can walk halfway, and then I'll start from my side to walk them and meet halfway. And then, because the mindsets have to be changed, many of the common citizens or the stakeholders, particularly the youth, the youngsters, were not used to this. So they also need to be educated. And then many of them started questioning. I remember in Mumbai, in Chandigarh, many were asking, why not for the beginners? So they have to be told that this is part of a larger ecosystem. It is not an end and beginning in itself. You have something to offer even for the beginners. And we have been very unorthodox even in that. Only about 5 or 6 weeks back, I personally requested the Director General of CSIR, and we did away with that provision which we had for the startup, deep tech startups. We had a venture fund provision where a startup had to prove having been in existence for at least 3 to 4 years minimum. And the idea was that unless you are sure of the sustenance, how would you make the money being spent sure? Because usually it's easy to start up, but difficult to stay. I said, we'll do away with that. Let's take that risk. So this government has been offering support at different levels. In fact, we've gone deep down. I'm glad Abhay was complimenting me that I was giving him a free hand. But I must compliment him that he was always accepting my suggestions, maybe sometimes with apparent graciousness, though not being easy for him to follow. He started Vigyan Jyoti for class 9 girl children. And then I told him, why not we go back? Because I visited a school in Hon'ble, and a class 8 girl rose up, and he said, sir, I want to compliment you and also complain to you simultaneously. I said, what? And it's a government school. See how much of awareness even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which are today contributing are 50% of the 2 lakh startups. So the girl said, I have to compliment you for this Vigyan Jyoti initiative. But my complaint is, why not me? Because I'm class 8, why do I have to wait for 1 year? So I came back and told. Then he said, sir, financial. So I thought maybe sometimes. Because, and then Rajesh said that, I don't know whether it is to be taken with a pinch of salt or with a pinch of sweet. He said the ministers are not expected to go deep. So allow me to sit in the company of my other colleagues as well. But I think the easiest answer to that is that I came from amongst you, having been a teacher myself for more than a quarter of a century and then being incidentally over here. But yes, we have to be very, but I think apart from that, what is important is in today's age and time, as Professor Sood was mentioning all this, you have to be a very important learner. You have to be a good learner. That's more important. And that applies to every age group. What we learn today for tomorrow, by the time tomorrow happens, it becomes a thing of yesterday. And therefore, from that point of view also, this government Professor Sood made right observations about the quantum mission. We have not been lagging like in the earlier years. For example, IT came here about a decade and a half later, when much had changed over here. So we were always following the success stories from others. It's no longer so. We are among the an elite league of a few nations which are into quantum. And I agree, the common citizenry may not be aware of what is quantum all about. But a matter of great satisfaction is that those who are involved in the mission quantum are very much into it. They understand the importance of it, they are also committed. And I think the best evidence of this is that when we launched this mission about 3 years back, we laid down for ourselves the targets for 8 years. And we have the 4 verticals: quantum communication, quantum computing, quantum sensors, quantum materials. And for each we laid some targets for ourselves, because I was deeply involved in that, trying to learn what it is all about. And one of the targets was that we would accomplish 20,000 kilometers of quantum secure communication in 8 years. Sorry, 2,000. But I'm glad to share with you that in less than half the time, that is not even 4 years, I was just in 3 years, we have already reached 1,000. Which means we are now competing with our own targets. That means the team quantum is very much conscious of keeping the timelines or even completing our targets before the timelines. And as was rightly mentioned, because we know what would the implications of it if we are not into this. So I think, and yes, I have also to compliment you, because I said don't make any compromises in this selection. Even if the recommendation comes from my office, don't listen to it. I said that to Dr. Kalyan, I said that to him also. And I had learned it from my seniors when I was working in a government setup. I had a health minister, I'm talking about 30 years back. There was an appointment to be made, and I received about 15 recommendations from the minister. So before proceeding ahead, I sought an appointment with the Honorable Minister. He's no more. Many of us have heard of him. He has a very prominent name, a very veteran. So I sought an appointment and went to him in the evening. So I said, sir, मुझे ये नहीं समझ आया कि करना किसका है. तो बोले, डॉक्टर साहब, मैं मंत्री हूँ और राजनीतिक हूँ. मेरा काम है हर स्लिप पे आपको भेज देना. ये आपका काम है कि किसको लगाना कि नहीं लगाना. So I said, you follow that dictum, and I'm glad. It's so gratifying to see this first lot of 5. You have a quantum, you have one with the energy lithium, you have with the space, and you have one with the, and yes, health and this in STEM, pulmonary fibrosis. So virtually covered all the critical areas ranging from life sciences, biotech to modern physics. So that means we have made a good beginning. And as in English say, half begun, well done, best, better, half begun is well concurred. So we are already on the right track. We just have to maintain this tempo. And I think more important than the first thing I said, yes, this book is going to be a very important reference book for all those who are going to be into quantum. The first thing I asked Dr. Upadhyay, is it digital? He said yes. But I think we would also have to make small components. So please activate your social media team. So they're small, and compartmentalize it for the potential innovators, potential patent seekers. On my request, Dr. Kalyan has also started a portal for those who wish to file a patent or apply for that. So we would compartmentalize it for different sections of people. Those who are already TL4 and those who are yet into this. So that we can make small visuals. We have to reach out to them in the language they understand, through the means that they understand, because I'm sure nobody is going to read this book. Don't be honest to yourself. I mean, you may say, oh, very nicely done, very nicely written, but I'm sure nobody is going to go through. And you don't have to go through. In today's age of knowledge explosion, you're not expected. In our academics, we call something as doubling time. Doubling time means the time in which the textbook needs to be republished, at least in the medical science, they say. So earlier on, the textbooks which required to be republished after 8 years gradually got reduced 6 years, 5 years, 4, now every 2 years. And 2 years and another volume. If it was a single volume, it's 2 volumes. The 2 volumes become 3 volumes. So you can't be practically reading everything. But you should know what you ought to do. So you should know what you don't know, or what you want to know. So for that, we should have a small compartmentalization, digitally formed, so that it is driven with an AI enablement. The seeker goes in, looks for what, or you can do it other way also. You feed your profile. I am so and so. So that is my qualification. I need to do, or I try to, I'm looking for something like this, and let the AI search for you what you are looking for, so that this book and the content of this book is put to best use. Otherwise, it will end up like, one of the books in the racks, just to good for your album pictures. So I think we are all very passionate about this RDI initiative. And once again, compliments to to Rajesh Pathak for having rolled out the first lot in less than the expected time, and less than the time that he had envisaged for himself. And I'm sure his enthusiasm will continue with the same crescendo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, sir, for your inspiring and visionary address. Your words have truly reinforced the importance of innovation and scientific excellence and collaborative research in shaping the future of developed and self-reliant India. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this program, I would like to invite Shri Nishant Kumar, Joint Secretary, ANRF, to kindly say a few words of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of ANRF, DST, T.D.B, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this significant occasion, marking the implementation milestones under RDIF and the initiatives that have been taken by T.D.B. At the outset, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge Ministry of Science and Technology, for gracing this event with his presence and his inspiring address. Sir, your continued guidance and commitment towards strengthening the India's innovation systems, deep tech entrepreneurship, and technology-led growth remains a constant source of encouragement for all the stakeholders. I also want to extend sincere thanks to Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, sir, PSA to Government of India, for his visionary insights and steadfast support in shaping a robust national R&D. Our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Abhay Karandikar, sir, Secretary, DST, for his motivating address and also for providing the dynamic leadership with regard to implementation and operationalization of this RDI scheme. I would also like to acknowledge and thank our CEO NRF, Dr. Shivkumar Kalyan Raman, sir, for always providing his guidance and support for the operationalization of this flagship program of Government of India. I would also like to acknowledge and thank Shri Rajesh Pathak, sir, Secretary T.D.B, for his leadership and for steering today's program with clarity and purpose. I would also like to thank Dr. R.K. Upadhyay, CEO CDOT, for taking pains actually and finalizing the report on quantum safe ecosystem in India that was released today by the Honorable Minister, sir. I also want to extend sincere appreciation to all the participants, all the members of the evaluation committee, SLFM evaluation committee, and the members of the representatives of the ETEs that are present here, and we had signed agreements with them, officials and other stakeholders. Your collective efforts have made today's event very meaningful and impactful. In the end, I would like to thank all the officers and staff of T.D.B, ANRF, DST, and all associated teams for their meticulous planning and seamless coordination for organizing this program. Finally, I want to thank all distinguished guests, participants, members of the media, and all attendees present here for joining us this evening and for your continued support towards strengthening India's science, technology, and innovation landscape. Thank you all, Jai Hind.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we close the proceedings of today's evening, as you all are very much aware, Shri Abhay Karankarji will very soon be going to Niti Aayog as a full-time member, but he will always be very fondly remembered here in the Ministry of Science and Technology. And the different departments would now like to honor, felicitate, and convey their gratitude to Sir. I would like to invite from DST, JS, DST, Ms. Dhanlakshmi ji, to kindly come up and do the honors of presenting a small token of gratitude and love and affection to Shri Abhay Karankarji. So a small token of gratitude from DST. And now to convey their gratitude.
Actually, what goes out comes back, goes around comes back. He has been driving technology innovation all over the country. He has been driving the innovators in 13 or 15 technology innovation hubs all over the country. And this particular bag is a innovation funded by a startup of IIT Mandi. And this is a gift from IIT Mandi to the Secretary, sir.
Thank you. And now, on behalf of ANRF, may I invite CEO ANRF and JS, CEO ANRF Dr. Kalyan Raman and JS ANRF Dr. Nishant Kumarji to kindly come up. Dr. Pamela, may I request you also to kindly come up. And finally, on behalf of T.D.B, I would request Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak ji to kindly present a token of gratitude and honor Shri Abhay Karankarji ji. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, as we close the evening, I would request our dignitaries for a group photograph, sir. Just to commemorate this very special day, a group photograph of the dignitaries. And ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the close of this memorable and significant evening. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to